I hope that this message finds you, your family, and friends safe and healthy during these really unsettling times right now. And I'm sending you this message because you used to be part of my Gold Canyon family. And we've all been through a lot with Gold Canyon closing its doors just, 2 months ago. And I know that, I personally, having to leave my fellow and coworkers that I had worked with for so many years, and also lose my family that I worked with in the field, was devastating to me. And I know to a lot of you, I mean, literally, I know for 2 weeks after the event happened, I would cry at the drop of a dime. I know my husband just thought that I was losing my mind. I was so upset about everything that happened. And I mean, how many can you relate to that? Because I just know I literally was mourning the loss of my business and my Gold Canyon family. And so I had a lot of things to think about. And so after my 2-week pity party, is what I like to call it, I decided, you know what, I've got to get moving. There's life after Gold Canyon, and I've got to figure out, what does that mean for me? So I got my resume together, got that all cleaned up and updated, went on LinkedIn, started doing all the things you do when you start to interview. Now keep in mind, I hadn't interviewed in over 20 years, so I was petrified of that interview experience alone, let alone a new company, new people. But I did it, I got everything together, started talking to recruiters. I was actually talking to previous mentors of mine and CEOs, Michael Norris, Tom Kelly. I really couldn't have gotten through this without them. And so they were helping me to figure out, what do you want to do? And a lot of the questions that I would get when I was talking to these recruiters, well, what do you want to do? What do you want to focus on? And I had no idea. I really didn't know what I wanted to focus on or what I wanted to do. So I needed to figure that out before I could really and truly move forward. And I was having a conversation with the recruiter, and she was just finding out more about me, and come to find out, I had actually interviewed her at Gold Canyon and didn't hire her. And so I didn't realize that until we were going through the conversation, and she was, making mention of how I didn't have very many LinkedIn contacts. She had over 1,000, and I really needed to get more. And 3 months as a general manager, that's really not worth putting on a resume. And really, you should just focus on customer service, because that really looks like that's what you're strongest at. And she started making me feel smaller and smaller and smaller. And for those of you who watched GC Live, I know I shared a quote from Eleanor Roosevelt, and it said, "No one can make you feel inferior without your consent." And I was allowing to let her do that. And I'm like, nope, I'm not going to let her do this to me. So I picked myself up and I said, you know what? Thank you so much for your feedback. I appreciate you so much. Thank you. And I did appreciate her, because you know what? She gave me that kick in the butt that I really needed to move forward and figure out what I wanted to do. So my next steps is, what I did is I sat down and started thinking about what I wanted to do. And a fellow executive, a friend of mine, had reached out to me and said, hey, she was checking in on me. She's like, have you ever thought about starting your own business? I would love to start a business with you. We've got experience together. We love that community. We love fragrance. What do you think? And I was like, wow, that's a lot to think about. And I just didn't know what I was going to do with that information, but it actually started to get me excited, and I kind of got that spark again. So I started thinking about that. Like a lot of you know, I make a list. I'm very process driven, making my list of pros and cons, and did that. But the main thing I did is I wanted to put a list together of what was important to me, because until I did that, there was no sense in me even moving forward at all. So I wanted to share with you my list. So the first thing that was the most important to me was work-life balance. And I know in talking with my grown sons now, they had mentioned, and not trying to be mean, but that, hey mom, yeah, we know your work's always been your #1 priority. And I was like, you're right, it has been. I mean, I now have 2 grown sons who have their own families, and 3 new grandsons all under the age of 2, that I now have the opportunity to get to know and spend time with. And so work-life balance is more important to me than ever. And after 20 years at a company of never having a vacation that I didn't work, I'm done with that. I'm gonna have real vacations and I'm gonna spend real time with my family and friends. So that was number one. I wanted to be part of a community that feels like family, like Gold Canyon used to feel for me. I wanted to have fragrance in my life again and candles. I wanted to absolutely love what I do, have pride in what I do, surround myself with like-minded people, be respected and feel valued, help others find their passion, work remotely, that was important to me, work with people I can trust, who are transparent and honest, be a valuable team member, learn something new every day, and really find my new home. That's what I wanted to do. And while I'm going through all this, a lot of our former executives had been talking to a company called Mia Bella's and their fragrance and candles, and I saw all the excitement going on over there, and they were talking to the owners. His name's Bob and his partner's name's Charlie, and they were talking to them and putting a little bug in their ear that, oh my gosh, you have to bring Kim over here. She's part of our family. She will bring so much love and fun to this business. And you know, so they started talking to me, you know, Bob and Charlie, and I'm like, oh my gosh. So when I made my list and looked at everything, I knew that although a new business would be very exciting and I know that I could do it, it would consume me. And what was my first thing? Work-life balance, right? So I knew that that is not something for me at this point in my life. But knowing that there was this opportunity out there where they have the fragrance, they have the candles, it's a family-owned company. A lot of my friends from Gold Canyon have already gone over there. I got so excited, so excited. And so I'm excited to announce that I am their new Vice President of Sales and Marketing. And I tell you, I feel like I have finally found my home. And I hope that all of you have had the opportunity, that you've really taken a look to see what's going to make you happy. And for those of you who found it, I'm so happy for you, and I wish you the most success. But if you haven't, I'd really like you to join me at Mia Bella and a lot of your fellow executives and family, because it's so exciting, because it's like a new company opportunity, ground floor. He's going to let us, you know, as growth happens, we're going to be able to have events and trips. And you know how much I love events and trips. That's my specialty. And we're also going to be able to do promotions, incentives, have a lot of fun. And one thing that I really loved in talking with him is that, you know, they're a natural wax company. So I'd ask him, are you guys willing to work with me and partner with me on potentially developing another natural wax candle line? In 2018, my product development team at Gold Canyon had actually created the Luxe line of that coconut wax. I love the coconut wax. I think we can do better than that wax blend because it did have a little bit of paraffin, which isn't natural. So I want to make sure it is a natural wax, coconut wax blend. And what I love about it is it can really hold a fragrance load, a much higher fragrance load. So you get that fragrance that you know and love, and get that true experience that you loved with Gold Canyon. And they have agreed to work on that and look at having that for 2021. So that makes me more excited than anything, to be able to also help them develop products. So again, I am so excited. And you know, I know all of you, it's like, I had to start looking back and I had to move forward. And I'm really excited. I get to work out of my home in Gilbert, Arizona, and you know, stay here with my friends and family, which is so exciting. But really, what I'm most excited about is that hopefully I can help you find what you're missing and what you love again, if you haven't already found that. So I look forward to hearing from you. I'd love to hear what you're doing. Even if you don't want to move forward with Mia Bella, that's great. I'd still love to hear from you and see how you're doing, because so many of you checked up on me and it meant the world to me. So thank you so much, and I really do hope to talk to you soon.